Hello, everyone. Welcome to Life Talk Pop with Bami, where we have honest conversations about life, relationship, and the stories that shape who we become. I'm your host, Bami, and today we want to dive into a topic that's as timeless as it's complex. What makes a marriage last? Here with me, I have my mother in the Lord, Pastor Mrs. Tony Oni. How are you, mommy?
I'm fine.
How's everything, man? I
Fine,
really
thank
want
you.
to I really want to appreciate you, man, for taking our time out of your busy schedule to speak to my audience today about this topic that is, so complex that even God himself was not institutionalized the the institution himself. So I really appreciate, man. In a world where swipe culture, fast paced life, endless opinions dominate the narrative, lasting love can sometimes feel like an outdated idea or a mystery no one has quite figured out. But the truth is, many couples are doing the work quietly behind the scenes, and they have a lot to teach us. This episode is more about marriage than weddings. It is about more than wedding vows and anniversaries. It's about partnership, about patience, about growth, and choosing each other over and over again. So, we want to explore what separates simple surviving marriage um, from truly thriving in it, and the small, consistent actions that can sustain connections over the years, even decades. So very soon you will hear from mommy. I want to ask ma, how many years ma have you been married, so that people will
29,
know. Ma,
29 years. December 7
ah,
will be 29.
29 years. That's very good. So yeah, a perfect example for this topic, ma. Thank you so much, ma. So I have several segments we want to look at. So we'll be taking it segment by segment so that there can be, some form of order and then progression. The first segment I also titled it "Beyond the Vows: Defining a Lasting Marriage." So, how do you personally define a lasting or successful marriage, ma?
Well, to me, lasting and successful marriage is as even the day that you are taking your vow as a believer, they said, till
Mm,
death do you part. That means that
yes.
it's still one of you is out of the world,
Mm,
of the earth. And for it to be successful, it depends on what you've set as your goal. And for each home, each family, their goals are different from each other. So when you find yourself that you're achieving your goal one after the other, I see that home, that marriage as a successful one.
so is it about how long you stay together or how you grow together?
Well, both works together for successful and lasting marriage. How long, then how well. But most importantly, it's how well. It could be a year or 2 years because one does not know when the other one party will go. But even if it's a year, 2 years, living together, fulfilling that 1 year, 2 years successfully, fulfilling it together and
Mm,
making yourself happy, even as you come together as husband and wife.
mm. So, what would you say about what it means to survive in a marriage or thrive in a marriage, and how will you know the difference?
Well, to survive the marriage is that okay, the marriage is their life, is there, but it could be that one is struggling in it and we are just managing it. That's the usual way when people say that, how are you? Oh, we are there. I can see that is just surviving. But when you're talking of striving, is that you are meeting your goal, the track that the path, the goal that you set for yourself as you are entering into the marriage, each day, day in, day out, you are working in it, you are right on the track, and you are making progress together
Mm,
as husband and wife.
So can can success in the marriage now look different for different couples depending on the goals that they want to achieve, and what has that look like for you personally, ma?
Well, I'll say that is different because what you know uh when you are entering into marriage, what you agree, the husband and wife agree to achieve in life, apart from the normal, oh, we want to be husband and wife, give birth to children, this and this, there are a lot of things, apart from that. Even your career, what do you want to achieve, your spiritual
Mm,
life, your the way you want to handle issues is quite different. Your finances, goal, and everything is quite different.
mm,
So by the time you agree as you're entering into the marriage, and day in, day out, you are fulfilling it, you are achieving it, you can look back and see that this is where we were last year. This is what we plan to achieve this year. And by special grace of God, we are getting it done. Then I will see that one as successful marriage. So in my own case, it's like that. When we were courting, we have the goals and dreams, what we believe is what we want our own marriage to be. And by special grace of
mm.
God, we can see remarkable, achievements every day, every week, per month, and even as years is rolling by.
Now, I wanted to, for the last question of this segment, I wanted to know, according to you personally, or taking a look at your own uh, personal marriage, how what makes a marriage last? What is that defining factor or defining quality or ingredient that makes a marriage last almost 29 years? And I'm sure it's going to go beyond that.
Eh, well, as I kept on referring to it that your plans and goals, what you have in mind to achieve as you come together. Because we came from different background, we aligned our thoughts together. There are a lot of things that you need to sacrifice in order to be able to align together. And initially, they might not be, that smooth. But by the time you keep on rubbing each other, you let go some of differences, you align with the interests of others, you find out that you are getting to know each other more and more, deeper and deeper.
Mm,
That will enable you
yeah.
to be able to work together to achieve. So by the time you move on, seamlessly, you just be entering into achieving all the things you plan to, to achieve as husband and wife.
Thank you, Ma. So moving on to the next segment, which I titled The Power of Partnership, Love, Friendship, and Teamwork. So what role does friendship play in marriage, and how do you nurture it?
Mm.
Because I was listening, sorry, I saw this clip of Pastor Femina Rosses. That was like day before yesterday, where he was saying, I think there was a couple that he knew that was getting married, and they felt like strangers. There was no connection, no levels of friendship there. Just because God says that's your wife does not mean you should not maybe go through that rigorous levels of getting to know the person, getting to understand who the person is, making the person your friend. So, what role does friendship play in marriage, and how would you nurture it?
Well, when two people from different background, when they come together, there is room that there will be a lot of differences. But by the time you relate together on a basis on relationship, friendship,
Mm,
knowing fully well that you are coming together to live under same roof, to do things together, to put your resources together, to nurture your children together. Definitely, if you are not friends, it will be very difficult to achieve. So from day one, there must be sacrifice on the part of both parties to ensure that the relationship lasts. To ensure you have to invest to your relationship. You invest a lot of things, you sacrifice your ego, You invest your money, you invest your time, you invest your ideas, and you ensure that you make yourself open to each other. You can't hide anything, because somebody you intend to live together for life, you can't afford to do hide and seek game, even in the relationship. So openness and
Mm.
honesty is the key thing for you to be able to relate well, and you have to understand each other. So when you grow the relationship, it makes you to understand each other more, and that will make you to be able to work together as one, because you just have to have your mind have to align together before you can make a successful marriage.
And then, so how do you and daddy now divide responsibilities? It might not have led to tension, but like, so responsibilities that lead to growth is this idea of gender roles. I don't know if you understand, but like, okay, males are supposed to do some particular set of things. Some men are not supposed to do this kind of chores. This kind of chores is meant for women, and so on and so forth. So how do you and your partner, how you and daddy divide this responsibility? Has it ever led to tension or growth? Have you ever thought about gender roles?
When in our own case, even in the we courted for 7 years, we did not even
Yeah.
talk about sharing responsibility. All that we just put on the table is that we are one, and what's good for A is for B. So we don't
Mm.
sit and say that we are different from day one. And coming from my own background, my own side of life, from a lady grew up in the village, I don't see my father doing out choice like that. So I have that mentality from beginning that okay, everything in the house is for me to do. But like I'll just say that even if you separate the responsibility, that you take care of this, I take care of this, there'll be time that the thing will still enter each other. That you just have to align to go beyond, to encroach into another person's responsibility,
Mm.
able to make successful marriage. Because by the time you want to say strictly, I want to stick to my own. Okay, this the wife that's supposed to cook, that's supposed to do clean up, that's supposed to do the washing. The husband is to provide money, and you find out that there's no how it will not enter each other. There will be time the man might not,
Mm.
and it will be the wife that will put money on the table. There'll be time the wife will not be around, and the children are crying. The man will go to the kitchen to cook and to take care of the family. Oh, my wife is not around. Let me keep, cook for the children, keep some in warmer for her. So when she comes, so like say the rule that for any successful marriage, you can't just, divide the road 100% and you are stick to it.
Mm.
There will be time that one will enter into another. The most important thing is that you don't take yourself for granted. You appreciate what other parties are doing, putting on the table to ensure that you move on, as husband and wife.
Yeah, because before I was in school of thought that male supposed to do male things, women supposed to do women things, and I think it has evolved over time because I think growing up, my mom made sure that because we're mostly boys, make sure that everybody know how to take care of themselves in the kitchen, so as not to be dependent on anybody. I think that's a skill that most people need to, not even for the purpose of marriage, but for the purpose of even developing yourself, being the kind of man you want somebody to be under, or being the kind of person somebody wants to partner with to take on that journey. I feel like the responsibility is supposed to be done together, although there are some responsibilities that some men can do, there's some responsibilities that some men can't do. I don't know, but I think the Bible says it's a helpmeet. So you have to help each other with different responsibilities. You're supposed to be together as one, journey together, think together, move in the same progression, have the same goals, and everything becomes easy. That's what I feel. But this our generation of nowadays, everything is quite difficult. Most people just believe in this feminism stuff, and I've taken it to another level. So that's why that's why I was asking that question, because your time and our time is quite different. That's why. So I wanted to
But so excuse me, let's
so
find your own time, our own time is quite different. But even the present world now, it's like your own time is more challenging than our own. And
yeah, that's what
even
I'm saying. Yeah,
our
I'm
own,
saying it.
some couples they might decide that okay, I don't want my wife to work, just sit down at the home, take care of home fronts, take care of the children and everything, while I go out to go and look
Mm.
for money. How many man can do that now because of the way the economy is? So I
No, no,
believe that
it might not be that. It might not be that. Some of the ladies are quite I don't want to say entitled, but they believe they can, just live on another person's money. Like I was watching this YouTube page. It's an American ladies this podcast. So they were asking the ladies one by one around the room, how much does your boyfriend has to make for you to be with? And everybody was mentioning $1 million, $1 million, $1 million. If it was now $1 million, maybe he has a prospect of getting $1 million. It's just it's quite a jungle. Everybody's just trying to
but by the time I
pack.
marry, you know that it's not that 100%.
Ma?
I said by the time they enter into marriage, by the time they are paying bills and everything, it might not be to give them $100. It
Those
might
kind
be,
of those kind of ladies who told you they are ready for marriage. That's why divorce is a normal thing now. Everybody is just divorcing. Or everybody is just
because
just
when they were fully prepared for
uh,
the journey.
yeah, thank you, man. So, how do you now remind each other? Since you have played the friendship role, since you now have responsibilities that you do together, or so how do you not remind each other that you're on the same team, especially when life gets busy, when everything gets stressful, when children come into the picture, and there can be some tensions, there can be some frustrations at times. So how do you remind each other that you're on the same team,
When
and
when whenever such things happens, we call ourselves to order, and because we do most of things together. So when
mm,
anyone is feeling somehow, we call ourselves to order. Uh, my friend, this is not. We call ourselves my beloved MB. That this is not the way you know we plan it to be, and and we look back that okay, what has been giving us success story is wrong
mm,
is when we are on the track of the goal that we set for ourselves. So
mm,
this commit is not even none of us do that at all because we know that it will not work and
yeah,
it will not get us to where we plan to get to. So each
mm,
time we know fully well that it's better for us to continue with the way we are. Dispensation, things happening around different from what we plan. Notwithstanding, we do not allow that to help us to lose focus of what we plan our lives to be. So that's what has been keeping us going and keeping us
mm.
recording cable success every now and then.
So, for the last question in that um for that segment, what role does the power of partnership, love, friendship, teamwork, you know I feel like the primary problem of nowadays is that most people don't get to talk. People just get to act in these sexual fantasies because they believe like, okay, she's tall, slim, dark, and he is handsome, and he meets my physical attractions. But people don't talk about what they want out of the marriage before they enter it. So, how do we raise the children? How do we share finances? How do we do this many other things? So, I want to know how powerful is partnership, love, friendship, teamwork. How powerful is it an ingredient for a marriage to be blissful?
Well, to borrow from the Bible, Jesus said that anybody that wants to build us will first of all sit down. You have to look at the material that we use and ensure that it's available. And if the same thing applicable to marriage because it's a building. you are building. And when you build with those things that be able to stand the test of time. You agree together on what you want to achieve while you want to run your home. And
Mm.
if that's not there, even as you are entering into it, you won't be able to have remember, because it's like before you know it, maybe it's your friend that will be influencing with the wife, the friends of the wife will be influencing, the mother-in-law will be influencing the man or even the lady. Before you know it, third party will set in that they'll be giving you, road to go. We believe in our own case that look, if you don't define where you are going to, every road will be as if you should just go there. But you have every day, look at what I want to achieve. So when two of you agree that this is where we want to run our homes, then you work together, you put your resources together. You can't separate it. You can't separate love from your marriage. You can't separate partnership. You can't separate friendship, because can two work together except they agree? You have to come together and work together. Even the first couple in the Bible, Adam and Eve, even despite the fact that Eve made mistake that led to punishment for Adam, Adam still
Mm.
saved his wife, did not sin is did not separate himself from him, because what he said the time that he saw the wife, that this is the flesh of my flesh, the bone of my bone, it shall be called woman. Even when the whole thing happened, he did not say that, it's you that made me to lose comfort of Eden. Oh yeah, I don't need you anymore. No, they
Mm.
still together. They continue. It was after then they gave birth to their children and everything. So, Mr. Error, when you work together as one, you see yourself as friend, deep friend, and that will enable you to be able to overlook some errors and mistakes. That will enable you to align your mind and thoughts together, and that will
Mm.
enable have to focus your attention on your goals, and do
Yeah.
not allow anything to creep in to create separation. So that's the way I can see the role of love, partnership, and friendship in marriage.
Oh, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I want to move to the next segment, which I titled "Communication is everything, but it is not easy." The first question is because this communication of a thing is, I think, it's even an issue now in our present age. So, how has your communication styles in your own marriage evolved over time?
Well, for like I said, I can two work together except they agree. You
Mm.
of course you must learn how to communicate with each other, effectively. And communication is in two way. You talk, the other party have to listen.
Yeah.
You listen, then so two of you don't talk together like at the same time, you'll not be able to understand yourself. So when there's differences, we know how to handle it. That the moment one is feeling bad about something, the other party will know that.
Uh,
So initially when we got married, I didn't
no,
find
that
it.
that that sorry, man. That thing, man, is it supposed to be discussed before you even marry? Like, okay, this is what maybe I'll, I'll just discuss with my fiance. Like, okay, maybe this is how we, if we want to fight or you want to have disagreements, let one person explain, another person explain, or I don't know. Is this something that is not that is this something that is necessary should be discussed?
Well, you have to discuss, because if you just keep it that everything is going on fine, before you know it, you'll be keeping a lot of things locked up there. And by the time another thing happens, because you did not say out your mind, that will trigger anger. And the other
Mm.
person will be worried like, "Ah, what did I do that warrants this reaction?" It's not that thing that you did at that moment. It could have been those things that he or she did not express initially. Just kept kind of like, okay, so they won't say that I'll be talking too much. Initially, when we got married, I experienced that. That I'm the type that if anybody will offend me immediately, I will just say it the way it is. My
Mm.
husband is the type that believe that you don't use your mouth to say everything at the same time. And we just be locking it up. So the moment I said it's like you are complaining too much, you are nagging. I begin to see that, oh, I'm nagging. So I just kept quiet. And because it's not in me not to say out my mind, I will now begin to feel bad, keep to myself. Before resentment will set in. In the night, we now say that, "Okay, let us pray." Immediately I say that, can two want the Bible said, when the two of you, when you are in agreement, is when I'll be there to answer your prayer. We are not together. We are not together. So thank God for the what we agreed on, that okay, every night we must pray. That is what really help us. If it's not because of that, we'll be piling up issues,
So,
reset coming, and at the same time, unforgiveness we creep on in, and before you know it, there'll be a lot of gap.
so is that
But
something? Is that something you recommend to this our generation? Always pray before you sleep
yeah,
together,
it's
so as
it's
to trash
key,
out any issues.
because that is what is happening. Like, I've been a pastor, I've been pastoring people now for the past, will be pastoring people now for the past over 22 decades now.
Hmm.
See that issues that couples they have, that will even lead to separation, that have been leading to separation or divorce, is
Yeah.
some when the thing just started. If they've adopted this, that look, we don't return to bed every night without praying together,
Hmm.
without praying together. If that has been in place, a lot of these differences we have, a lot of separations that we have in marriage now, it will not be there.
Yeah.
Because you find out that, because you know that if you want to pray at night, you must forgive every issues from morning to that moment. And every day you open a new chapter for yourself. You don't refer to what happened yesterday. The
Oh.
moment you say sorry, even if the other party did not even say I'm sorry, you let go from your mind to forgive and you move on.
So, final question for this segment. So, what helps you to now create that safe space where you can speak honestly, vulnerably, and make the conversation, healthy for both of you to be able to resolve issues that might occur in the marriage? Sorry, excuse me. I need to. No, you can speak, man.
Please come again.
I
I did
said
not.
so. I said so. The last question is, I wanted to know. So, what helps you now create a safe space where you can speak honestly, where you can speak vulnerably, in a conversation where both individuals are not afraid to speak up their mind. So what helps you create that safe space for you to be able to talk? And if you married an introvert that doesn't like to talk, or you marry someone that gets angry easily, and how can you create that safe space for honesty, vulnerability, so that you can speak your mind and people can hear their, whatever they want to hear.
Well, between husband and wife, you don't even need to cut off party to your issue.
No,
You
it's not
don't.
about it's not about calling third party, man. It's about like
Okay.
creating a safe space.
Well, for me, my own this thing is that I'm very sure, even if everything I've been planning it up, that okay, I'm very sure in the night we have to pray.
Okay.
So definitely, I will be waiting for that avenue to say out my mind,
So before you
because
pray, you would
I know
just
that if I
before the
I
prayers.
won't be able to pray, we will not be
And
able to.
that's what I'm saying. So before the prayers, you just trash out everything you want to trash out.
Yes, so yes,
Then you
so
proceed. Then you proceed to pray.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That's and that's the way we'll be doing it. But these days, we are now getting old now. So these days, even instead of keeping it to that evening, immediately I just say, when he's keeping to himself, I just say, "Ah, is it what I did just now?" That if it's me to just find a way of, just let's go, because we can't afford it any longer.
Mm.
We've
Thank
passed,
you, sir.
at least we've understood each other. We've known when the other party is angry, even though he's not talking, keeping quiet alone. You'll be able to understand that something has gone wrong. And immediately you just think through, what have I done? What have I said? What did I not do? Then immediately we just, come together and we'll be playing the game. So that is
That's
it.
that's really wonderful, man. Thank you so much. So I wanted to move to the next segment. I
The
call
last
it.
one.
No, it's not the last one. I think it's the penultimate one. Yeah,
Well,
step down to the last. So I want to title that one "Storms, Seasons, and Staying Grounded." In this our generation, there are a few people, a few couples that stay together, especially when they are having challenging times, especially when there are challenging seasons in their relationships, in their marriage, which is always the same for everybody. And most commodity that most women, I don't want to say most, let me half of the women look for now is just money, 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 money. So if the man is not able to provide the money, they just go their separate ways because there's some people who say he promised me he will never go broke. If I know, I've heard that on the podcast before. He promised me he will never go broke. So it is him that you should blame, not me. That he promised he was never going to be broke. He promised that he provide for me. So he's the one that did not work very well and lost his job or did something like that, and it's just like sad. So I need to know what was one of the most challenging seasons in your relationship and your marriage, and how did you navigate it together?
well, I would just want to refer to the time that my husband lost his job.
Mm.
Uh, at that moment, maybe because the way I was, picture myself from
Yeah.
beginning. Look, I in a place where I was working there, I have some men that even my salary is more than their own, and they are taking care of their children and their wives.
Mm.
So with that, I did not even meant it to be anything. But as a man, you feel that, oh, my responsibility and I'm not meeting up. But for
Yeah.
me, it was demanding anything really. But you can see it. So I remember one day that he used Epic and pour, the whole thing. I just say, oh, what you use is much. That's what we plan to use for the whole month. That thing really hit my husband so hard. And, immediately he withdrew. And I was just wondering that what happened to that. So in the night, as I rightly said, when we wanted to pray, I was just like, I noticed that you'll be keeping to yourselves in what happened. He said, that if I use just so that means that now I cannot use anything in the house freely. I say, but I was just telling that we need to manage it, and that what to use is too much. Not that I was using it to, you know. So that night I felt bad that devil was now talking to me that he's not appreciating what you are doing. And then the unemployment period is getting to like 4 months then. And I have it's like we have two children then, Abby. Okay, our first baby. We're expecting the second one when the issue occur. And
Mm.
my mother-in-law is with me, my house help. We have to put food on the table, do everything. I said, so is it the way this man will be thinking? Is it how to appreciate what I was, troubled? I was so troubled in my mind. But
Mm.
thank God, I just turned to God. I prayed that God, something just, caught my attention that look, the following morning when I was going to the office, I just thought of it that look, God, I did not, you said I'm going to be helpmeet. I'm not going to be the one that will be breadwinner. I don't know how you will do. You must provide job for this man. Because if it lingers this way, that means that I cannot even correct him to do anything. I cannot even say anything. It will be like this because he's at home, he's not working. If I
Mm.
come back from office tired, if he's greeting me and I'm not answering very well, it will read me need to read and then so the thing really hurts me badly. But thank God for the understanding I got. The one that people in my office that are men, that even my salary is more than them, they are taking care of their family. So that will not make me to say I will not put money on the table. Then
Yeah.
second, it's not my responsibility to be breadwinner in this house. There's no glory in it at all. So I was
But
telling
some many ladies now find glory in it nowadays.
no, it's not glory. Me, I don't envy them. I don't pray for that. I pray for
Why?
that. See that my husband will give me money, will take care of me. So I prayed that prayer and God answered my prayer.
Mm.
Month down the line, he got job. And that was how, even before then, when I got home the following day, I apologized. That never meant evil. I did not take, I did not even think about where they are taking it, that he should just forgive me. And
Mm.
he understood. And we move on with our lives. Even
I,
before.
I, I would just say maybe 1% in 100%, because nowadays is I think I think 60% of ladies want to earn more than their man, and they will push it to
No,
their face,
there's no
and then
glory. There's no glory
use
in
it to
that.
use it to taunt the man that is not providing. See how much I'm
Oh,
making.
no.
It's a lot of in this Gen
Every,
Z age.
every,
It's a lot
every
of
responsible woman must see your husband as your head. You don't take that responsibility.
feminism has
If
make
you
it
are
equal.
any more than that man, that has not turned the man to be the neck. He's still the head. And
Mm.
the moment you don't recognize that, you are even sinning against God, not even that man.
Really?
Yes,
How?
because Bible said that woman should submit to your husband. That as Christ is the head of the church, so a man is the head of his wife.
How would you say that to an atheist?
Well, even the 80s, I will let the 80s. Well, the way I look at it is this: all of us, we know, even the 80s, they know that husband is the head of a
Ah,
woman.
no, I'm sure some of them say, like your money
That
and all, like
was
but I just feel like I'm in the same school of thought as you, ma, but I'm trying to make an advocate for the other side, so as
but
to balance.
that's what I'm saying. Even whosoever that are saying anything contrary, they
Mm.
are just using their present age, but the standard has not changed. Husband is husband is above the lady, and no matter what,
Obviously,
the man did not have certificate, did not have the money, so far is your husband, definitely is your head.
thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much, ma. So I wanted to ask one last question so that we can move to the next stage. Um, so no, not one last question. Sorry, just more two questions. So, after those challenges and everything, um, what tools or practices did you use to stay connected when things were hard, whether emotionally, financially, circumstantially? I think you have answered part of the question, but I want to put it in a way whereby did you now intentionally recommit the relationship to God? What happened? Every and I'm not saying this because I have friends that are married, and some of them are going through things, and some of them are not. And I'm seeing the way they are handling it, especially, and they're handling it very well. I feel like I think that's one of the scary things, like that there might be a time in your life you might not be able to provide for your family, and the only person you have to look up to is God, and you have to pray that you don't expect disrespect from your spouse, so that you will not look down on you. So, well, I know that yes, the power of prayer is there. Uh, but let's look aside the. I don't want to say let's look aside. Apart from the Christian family, the other families that might not be Christians, what tools or practice can they like? Can you advise that can help them stay connected when things are hard, whether emotionally? Because most ladies now, which is one something I like. I'm against. Like they go speak to their friends. They go to complain to their they don't complain about their husband to their friends or the husband friends, and those ones take advantage of it, and they blow it into something that is not supposed to be, or they spread news around, and it breeds contempt or escalate the situation. So what practices, tools, apart from prayer and and praying to God to touch this person's heart or to provide for this person, like you said, what other tools can you use to be able to stay connected when things are hard?
Well, I'll just cancel, if situation like that happen. I just want them to see to it that look, they need to encourage each other.
Mm.
If person that is taking the responsibility, especially when it's lady now that is taking the financial responsibility at home.
Yeah.
Man should encourage the lady, should appreciate, and at the same time, the lady too should encourage the man. Like I have a friend that throughout their lifetime, the lady's salary, the lady's salary is like times 10 of the man. And you will not know. The man happens to be a teacher, the lady is a banker, a teacher named, you know what teacher hands. You know
Mm.
what school, what teacher hands in public school. And
Wow.
the two of them, they align their minds together. The lady happens to be a banker. All their assets, their investments, it's they as a banker, there will be upfronts, salary, huge salary. She's taking care of that, and the man took it upon himself to ensure that the lady will not be like. That's why I say share responsibility. You can't.
Mm.
At times it can be other side, but all that just is to align yourself together to do it. So the lady will be the go out to go and look for money as a banker. We go very early in the morning, come back very late. It's the man that will take care of the children, take them to school, ensure that they are led do their own works, do everything, which a lady supposed to do. And before
Yes.
you know it, you look at their lives, no gap, no gap. They are doing fine, riding two cars. They have home house of their own at the moment, and they are not even know. And the two of them, they are living fine, and the children, they are well, because now the man have time to take care of the children, to ensure
Yeah.
their academics, and the children, they are doing fantastically well, coming out with first class and all the.
Yeah.
So I just like just encourage yourself and move on with your life. It can't be same way. The problem that we are having at the moment is that we are comparing ourselves with each other. The problem is not the challenges is not the problem, but it's the attitude, it's the
Oh,
mindset.
is a
So
comparison.
our mindset must be right. And the reason going to marriage shouldn't be selfish, not based on selfish interests, but
Yeah.
it should be that we are coming together to support each other, to help each other to achieve greatly in life.
Thank you, ma. So finally, for the last question, so how important has outside support like therapy, mentors, communities been in sustaining um marriage? How important is it to involve therapy, mentors, community people who know the problem? Uh, it's funny at times how life turns out. I think Pastor Adiboye was saying something that he will never. I think when he married, first of all, married his wife, he purported in his heart that he will never ever carry the problems they have in the home outside to the elders to be able to settle them because they will feel like okay they got married at a very young age and they don't know what they are doing. So how important? But nowadays, they've incorporated therapy, all these marriage sessions, marriage classes or something into um, the institution. So how important has that outside support been in sustaining marriage?
When it helps when the two cannot, settle their issues on their own. I
Mm.
advise seek outside support. And when they are doing that, I will suggest that it shouldn't be immediate family.
Oh, not your
Or
in-laws.
yes, immediate families,
Why?
or even why the immediate family.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
reason
why?
so is like I've seen cases that maybe the wife will run to the family, the parents of the husband, complain today, tomorrow, your son did this. And before you know it, they were even using it against her that it's like your wife, the problem of this lady is too much. You should not kill my son for me. And the same thing can go for the wife as well. So I've seen cases that is of the wife, that the man will just call the man, "Hey, your daughter have started again. Hey, come. If you cannot control your home, if you cannot manage, send my daughter back to me." So that's, it's great. I now notice that it will create more problem at the end of the day.
Mm.
And it's maybe by the time the man is the parent, they are not handling it well, you now transfer the aggression to the parents, and by the problem now will be out, will be expanded to other, to extended family. So even
Mm.
when two of them wants to come together, they will begin to look at other people that are offended in the cause of their problem. And that's why I said they should not let it be the immediate family. It's
Mm.
to thank God that we have some counselors that are very, professional in that. There's nothing bad in seeking outside support.
Mm.
It could be that it could be story of other people that they will tell, because they know that these people, they are independent, they are not biased in the way they are handling the issue. And
Yeah.
before prayer, God will help them to resolve the issue. But most
Mm.
importantly, husband and wife, you must learn to forgive and let go. No
Okay.
matter
That statement, that statement you just made, man, is what I want to, and I want to add something. Maybe again. So, in the case of disloyalty involving adultery in the marriage, um, how do you handle such? How do you? I know you. I know the answer is forgive and forget, but it's not. I think those are things that have ended marriages, numerous marriages. So how does one answer? I am sorry, answer such or take care of such problems when it arises, if at all it arises in people's marriages. In the case of
well,
this.
if it arises, I still believe there is room for grace to forgive.
Mm,
I still believe so. There's no sin. Bible says that love covereth multitude of sin. When you say multitude of sin, fornication is part of it. Adultery is.
yeah, but we're all human beings, so the
I
betrayal at
know
times
we are
is
all
what.
we are all human beings, but we've seen people even in our present age that they manage it.
Yes, they manage it.
They manage it. This afternoon I was just joking with a friend that we came to visit. The way they set the table, and I was just wondering that it just said that beginning of this year she just decided that, oh, I'm going to be serving my husband as if I'm serving the king. Put dishes like 4 dishes on the table to
Yeah.
serve just one man. You understand? And I just dawned on me, and I told her that, "Well, look, this is what some of us, some women, that they are not doing." I remember in the olden days, those our fathers, our mothers, then. Despite the fact the man will have, like, maybe because competition, that they'll have like 3 or 4 wives. You dare not put food on the table for your husband and you just do it casually. You do it intentionally, and you are very serious at it with respect.
And, I just feel like nowadays,
You understand?
like you said, many people
Wait,
lack
somewhere.
respect.
Let me land.
Okay, okay, ma.
With respect, you will do it. But you find out that these days we just do everything because we are friends. This friendship of a thing is my friend. We do anything, and forgotten that this man is relating with ladies in the office, is relating with ladies in the church, is relating with ladies in his business place, he's going to his friend's house, and he's seeing what other wives are doing around. Even these days that we have a lot of ladies that are not ready to marry, but
Yeah.
they're ready to attach themselves with anybody, serious man. And they will do what you feel that it's not necessary. They will do it to win the heart of their husband outside. So at the end of the day, when the man now fall into these people that are luring him with fake respect, just because they want to collect his money, is we that will let loose our guard, that will now begin to cry about that, my husband has gone into infidelity. Lie, I will not forgive. Forgetting that you are the one that pushed the man out.
Mm.
So that's why when situation like that occur, two of them, especially the other party, should sit down. In what way have I contributed to this? Then if you can guide the way you contribute to that, you've contributed to it, I'm very sure you can still save the soul of your spouse.
Yeah, thank you, man. But in case of disrespect amongst the spouses, how do you fix that? Because um, many ladies or men lack just they fail to honor their wives. The ladies fail to respect the man. It's just like chaos. What kind of advice would you have to do? So, and they are not ready to change. Most are not ready to change. They believe that my rights, my rights, my rights, my rights, my rights. Right now is a big thing.
My advice for them is for them to change in good time, because know how, it will get to a time that they will not be able to take it. Bible says we should honoring one another.
Mm.
You should give honor to whom honor is due.
It's
Myself
due.
and my husband, we play a lot, especially when we're inside our room. When we
Yeah.
need to, we can talk to any, we can, make jest of ourselves, do everything. But the moment we get out, we give ourselves respect.
Yeah.
So when that we are playing that play, we say all the manner of things just to joke, laugh, to ease off the tension of the day, the stress of the day. And we just play like that. We go to bed, we sleep, and we enjoy ourselves. Wake up the following morning
Mm.
refreshed. Sure, you understand. But
Mm.
outside, we face the serious matter. In fact, you will not even see us abusing each other. And when we get to our room, we can say anything to ourselves.
Mm.
That's this. So even when you say that you are friends, you don't talk to each other anyhow outside. Let it be corner of your room, even when the children are not even there.
Mm. I think
So
these are
you
things that you did. I
know,
think I think
advise
these are
above
all
all,
things that I
in
think
your
this,
closeness, in your friendship, in your
um,
closeness, don't take yourself for
for granted.
granted.
I think these are things that someone has to discuss before somebody enters the relationship. Maybe explicitly,
Exactly.
maybe so as people will know the the time to draw a red line so that there will not be disrespect
Mhm.
or contempt or anything. Thank you so much. So for the final segment, which is growing together, not just growing old, I wanted to know what piece of advice you would give to a newly married couple that you wish you have known early on yourself in your own marriage. I want us to finish exactly 1 hour so that I will not take too much of your time.
Well, the advice I'm going to give to them is that in whatever thing they do, as they relate together, as they enter into the marriage, number one thing, don't take yourself for granted. Number two, honor yourself. Cherish yourself every day. Renew your commitment to each other.
I'm sorry, I can't see your video.
Sorry.
Okay.
Every day, renew your commitment to each other. Remind yourself of the goals you set for yourself and
Yeah.
ensure you maintain your lane. Don't compare yourself with anybody.
Yeah.
Maintain your lane and don't see anybody that is my friend. Oh, this family friend is very close to us. I can relate. I can. No.
Mm.
Keep your secret. Pray to God. When it's something you cannot handle alone, please seek independent counselors.
Oh,
I pray that God Almighty will uphold your home and keep us together. We keep you together in love in Jesus' name.
amen. So I want to second to last question. So how do you keep the relationship evolving through major life transitions? Like two people got married, husband and wife. Children enters the marriage. One, two, three, sometimes four, sometimes five,
Grandchildren enter,
sometimes five.
family members, friends.
The children goes to school, career changes, aging, all those stuff, discipline, training the children, now having grandchildren like yourself. So how do you keep this relationship evolving through what is the spark? I know you will say God, which is very, very good. God is the person that we all look up to as the author and finisher of our faith. He's the one that created this institution. He's the one that made sure that two of you had that goal of purpose and to be able to help each other out. But there's some things that you did for 29 years that, commitments that you made personally to yourselves that evolved. as you, okay, we have children now, we cannot spend like this, we cannot go on this vacation because we have to pay for the children's school fees. So, and one thing I respect my parents for, which I don't want, I don't want to fight them for, is, especially for my dad and my mom, is, I think even if I don't take anything from them, is the act of sacrifice, because they sacrifice a lot for all of us, as all their children personally. They make sure we make choices, and even when the choices turn out bad, they make sure we pay for those choices, the consequences. So the way they trained us was, they sacrificed a lot for us. Nowadays, most people don't sacrifice their children; they just want to enjoy their lives, live their lives. But so what are those commitments? Just staying close with your partner and staying close to your husband or your spouse. I just wanted to just know.
Well, I marriage challenges, marriage journey is up and down. There's no doubt about that. And new things will evolve each time, each stage of the journey.
Mm,
But the important thing is for husband and wife to understand that, look, we are knit together. When it's good, we are knit together. When it's bad, we are knit together. And you should not allow any stage, whether rain or sunshine, ups or down, we should not allow anything to determine our joy, to determine our relationship,
yeah.
define our relationship, but we should allow our coming together, what we've agreed to achieve in life, to navigate through. And by the time two of them, two of you, you have that mind, it helps a lot. Like for us, even when no job, when no food, when no money in the pocket, you will not even know, because you know that, oh, it has come, it will surely go. No permanent situation.
Yeah.
Oh, time of joy, we celebrate.
Which is what
The
people fail to understand now.
What to say?
I say which is what many people fail to understand now, that there's no situation that's permanent. There's
Well,
no
they
there's no
don't.
situation.
They are just taking themselves. There's
Mm,
no. There's no permanent situation. But the most important thing, even aside the prayer, and that's why I said that. Look, the most important is your mind. Mind.
mm,
You must set your mind to ensure that success. You have to determine that no matter how, success story, right? Success of this journey is what I'm after. So
yeah.
when two of you determine to make it a success story, nothing will make it, we make you to do otherwise.
Thank you, ma. So for the last question, because I want us to finish exactly 1 hour, so that I know you have a busy day ahead, ma. The last question for this podcast is: what does loving each other better look like at this stage of the journey for you? You've been married for 29 years now. We also pray to attain such feat. My parents too, the same thing. They've been married for 29 years. So at that stage, what does loving each other look like at this stage of the journey? Now that you're old, you're not more. Um, I don't want to say
It's so good.
young and beautiful, old and beautiful at the same time. I think there was something that I heard about somebody that said, "Okay, look at your wife very well, and look at her mother. That is the way your wife will look like in the next 30 years, in the next 50 years. So depending on, so you are in it forever, which is what is lacking in our, and it frustrates me a lot. Which is what is lacking in this our present age, that people don't go into this thing for to be able to be in it for life. Many people go in it for other nefarious things. People see it as a partnership. People see it for just to get away from something. It is there's no commitment. There is no God. There is no how will I put it now? There's no um, having a joint vision of where we want to be at this stage of our lives. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Like when I was young, I was saying, okay, my wife will always move into my house, like the house I built for myself, and it's something I'm praying God for. At these 10 years of marriage, there's this landmark we want to achieve. We want to have built our house. If okay, by this time our children will be in secondary school, by the next 20 years, we want to be able to invest or build a company together that people will be able to celebrate us, or there are different things or different goals you can pursue together as a couple. So I wanted to just know, what does it mean to love each other better, even at that stage, at this stage of your life, ma? And we cannot end there.
Said it that you make a lot of sacrifice. Your parents made a lot of sacrifice, which we do. Well. What I know that is giving us joy at this moment is that all the sacrifice that one made, you are seeing it,
Yeah,
coming.
even for them, fruitful, being fruitful.
Yes,
Yeah,
academic friends, they are growing, getting married, giving birth to children. So it's like you look back the way you started and you see yourself that look, have not made mistake, have not wasted my time,
yes.
wasted my energy unnecessarily.
Mm,
So what will give us joy is, what we give adult, sorry, couple joy at the end of the day is that what they've labored for, they are now seeing results.
yes.
And even the younger ones, that even start with your parents as well.
Mm,
You know, labor so much for you. So delight their hearts by letting them know that their effort on you is never a waste.
or in
And by
vain. Yeah.
paying them back the little way you can. I'm not talking about money. It could be just care. It glads the heart of every adult, every adult couple. It gladdens that and it makes them happy.
Yeah.
And whatever thing you sown into the life of your parents, your children too will sow it into your life as well.
Mm,
You know, every stage we are looking for better days. We are just starting.
we praise the Lord, man. I think one thing I like about the African culture is that um, even at the parents' old age, the children are obligated to take care of the parents themselves, not sending them off to one facility for them to take care of it. It's a sacrifice you also have to measure up to them for giving up their life for you, not giving up their life for you. Like, subtaining themselves for so many things for you, so that you can live comfortably the way you are living now. And that's why I love the African culture. Honestly, it's something I look forward to doing. Yeah, as Olore Ebi.
So shy.
Amen. Thank you so much, ma. I really appreciate your time. Your presence here is much appreciated. You have an open invitation anytime you want to come. I'm really, really grateful, ma, because I know you are such a busy person, but you took out time out of your busy schedule to, make this happen, and I'm grateful for it, ma. Really, really grateful. Thank you so much, ma. That brings us to the end of today's conversation on what makes a marriage last. We have heard a lot of takes from our mommy. She has, how will I put it? She has given off her wisdom of close to 30 years, which is no small feat. Marriage is built on everyday choices, the quiet forgiveness, like mommy said, the shared laughter, the decision to grow together, not just grow old, the decision to achieve success together, the decision to sacrifice for each other. Marriage, as I've learned, it isn't just a finish line, it's living, evolving relationship that demands care, curiosity, courage, friendship, teamwork. There's no single rule book for this marriage of a thing. That's what people most to feel. I think the only rule book we have is the Bible, but there are patterns, partnerships rooted in friendships, communications that invite vulnerability and willingness to show up, even when it is hard. So one thing I would like to just share in the final, if this episode gives you something to reflect on, maybe it's time to ask, your partner, for those that are, young couples, for about a small powerful question. What is one thing I can do to love you better this week? But I'm not married, so I can't ask. I can because often it's a simple question, it's a simple gesture that keeps the foundation strong. Like mommy said, talking, playing together, you know, abusing each other in the house, playfully, not outside, playfully, and many, many, many more things. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and above all, keep choosing each other. Thank you so much. God bless. Till next week. Bye. Thank you, Ma.